What's up, everyone? I'm the Kaiju no Kami, and Halloween month continues with a look at my top 10 favorite episodes of the Twilight Zone. As you probably have seen, I've been watching the Twilight Zone. I finished the Twilight Zone. It was an amazing show. Out of the 156 episodes, there are at least 100 episodes worth of masterpieces, and as such, I wanted to share my top 10, which was a very hard list to make because there were so many great episodes. If you don't know what the show is, it's an anthology series made by Serling, and as one person put it, there are 4 original plots in the world. Everything else was taken from the Twilight Zone, and it seems like that was quite true because every time I'm watching an episode, I'm like, oh, that's like Liar Liar. Oh, that's like Poltergeist. Oh, that's like that. That's like that. It was quite interesting and amazing at the same time, and like I said, the show holds up very well today. So it's definitely worth a watch. It's got suspense, it's got great social commentary, all kinds of cool stuff. But I'm going to do something different with my top 10 list here because I'm breaking the rules. Let's start with the honorable mentions.
We'll have those bandages off you very soon. I expect you're pretty uncomfortable.
Well, I'm used to bandages on my face.
I've no doubt.
It's the craziest thing, but I've looked and I haven't seen anybody around. Maybe they're all asleep or something, but... well, literally, there hasn't been a soul.
You're Martin Sloan?
Yes, sir. But I didn't mean nothing honest. Lots of kids carved their name here.
Number 10. Let's get right to the countdown with Nick of Time.
This unique little episode features a newlywed couple on vacation stuck in a town after their car breaks down. While waiting for their car to be repaired, they grab some lunch only to come across a strange demonic-looking fortune-telling device at the edge of their table.
Am I gonna be promoted, for Pete's sake? It has been decided in your favor.
Ah, you see, your worries are over.
Soon, the husband, played by William Shatner,
Yes, that William Shatner.
finds himself obsessed with the device as he feels it is accurately telling their future. It may not be the scariest episode of the franchise, but it is one of the most fascinating, hence why it is on this list.
Are we gonna live in the West? Are we gonna live in this country?
Number 9.
2.
The title is as simple as its plot, yet it is an extremely engaging plot. Only 2 people seem to remain in a war-ravaged nation, one from each nation at war. Thus, neither one of them can speak to each other as neither one of them knows each other's language.
I'm afraid the only way I could convince you of my honorable intentions would be by force.
This creates an extremely compelling narrative that keeps you on your toes, wondering how they are going to get along without being able to speak to each other, assuming they can get along at all. No matter the case, the runtime on this episode flies by so quickly you could have sworn the episode was only 2 minutes long. Number 8.
Will the real Martian please stand up?
A pair of police officers follow the trail of a possible UFO into a diner where a bunch of bus passengers currently reside due to the poor weather conditions. In this diner, the bus driver reveals he had 6 passengers, while there are actually 7 people in the diner, all claiming to be passengers.
I picked up 6, and I'm supposed to deliver 6.
Nobody fell out. Somebody must have jumped in. There are 7 here now.
This causes a bit of paranoia to follow forth as everyone suddenly becomes a suspect, even those that are married couples.
I could have sworn you had a mole on your chin.
A mole on my chin? Connie, never had a mole on my chin.
All is not as it seems in this nice quiet diner, but you will not know who is not whom they claim to be until the end. Number 7.
Silence can be golden. Silence can also show how much acting ability you have, as is the case in The Invaders.
A woman living by herself in a cabin finds herself under duress as a tiny UFO lands on a rooftop, and these alien invaders begin to attack her without remorse. While it may sound like a simplistic plot, and it is, what really makes this episode stand out among its brethren is its use of silence. Our main lead does not utter a single word of dialogue. She may grunt to show her pain or fear, but she never once talks. Additionally, the only time the alien invader speaks is to give you one quick report at the very end of the episode, leaving Rod Serling as pretty much the only voice throughout the entire show. This creative concept is enhanced with an incredible use of light and shadow to present an intriguing atmosphere that only a genius like Rod Serling could provide.
What's also interesting to learn is that the actress Agnes Moorehead was able to pull all of this off because she was actually a student to the mime Marcel Marceau.
Number 6.
There's nothing worse to a retail employee than people who will not leave after the store has closed. Of course, has anyone ever actually gotten locked in the store during the after hours?
A woman searches through a department store looking for a golden thimble and is taken to a mysterious 9th floor whose only product is exactly what she is looking for.
How about this?
What she doesn't realize is that the thimble is damaged, which leaves the store's managers vexed as they don't have a 9th floor. Through a bit of carelessness on the store's part, the woman finds herself trapped in the store after everyone has left for the night, where she becomes haunted by a bunch of mannequins.
Marcia.
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 Come on,
We know
Marcia.
You
Climb
remember
on.
Marcia.
Marcia, Marcia, Marcia.
I won't say more about the plot, but this episode is quite brilliant in its execution, and it keeps you on the edge of your seat even after you've already seen it for the first time. Number 5.
There's a joke I would like to give for the next episode in this list, but that would give the twist away. Whatever the case may be, the next one is 5 characters in search of an exit.
5 characters in search of an exit sounds like the start of a really bad joke. A clown, a soldier, a ballerina, a Scotsman, and a hobo find themselves in a round room with no means of escape. They have no idea who they are or even how they got there. They just are.
We're here because we're here because we're here. Because we're here.
The soldier, who is the latest addition to this quintet, starts going crazy on trying to find a way out and comes up with some outside-of-the-box thinking in order to do so.
One on top of the other, standing on each other's shoulders. Well, how about that?
Who put them there and why are they there? Well, you're just gonna have to watch the episode to find out. But my god, is the revelation astounding. Number 4.
The next episode on this list is a good episode. A really good episode. It's a good life.
Children can be little bastards at times. Sometimes it's intentional. Other times it's just out of immaturity and mild curiosity for what the consequences will be. Whatever the case may be, the boy of this story, one Anthony Fremont, is just that. A little bastard.
You're a bad man. You're a very bad man.
Anthony was born with superpowers that allow him to do whatever he wants, and he will wipe away anyone that disagrees with his mindset as if they were nothing more than a social media post.
I hate anybody that doesn't like me. He shouldn't have thought those bad thoughts. That's why I made him go on fire. That collie dog, he doesn't like me. He's a bad dog.
Does he do it out of spite because he can, or just because he doesn't know any better? It all depends on your point of view.
You be dead.
Mama, that's real fine that you done that. That's real fine, Anthony. You're a good boy, Anthony. We all love you.
Which is what makes this a prevailing tale of horror, as his true intentions are never exposed. It's all up to the viewer to decide the truth. Number 3.
The Twilight Zone may have been filled with ton of plots revolving around aliens, but none of them were ever able to match up to Serve Man.
Despite knowing the plot twist thanks to The Simpsons,
Don't you see what's happening here?
I was still enamored with this episode from start to finish. A group of aliens visit Earth giving away solutions to cure the world of sickness and famine, among other things.
We come as friends.
Over time, they start to take humans to their home planet in order to broaden their horizons, as it were. During this time, a couple of translators are trying to decipher a book one of the aliens left on a UN desk with a title that translates to Serve Man.
Makes the cheese a little more binding, wouldn't you say, Colonel? I'd call that a reasonably altruistic phrase.
If you don't know the twist of the episode, consider yourself lucky, as it is one jaw-dropping revelation. Admittedly though, there is a real lack of character development in the story that keeps it from being my number 1 choice.
And people try to overanalyze this episode and start to go, well, how did they translate the book? That makes no sense. As if that frickin' matters.
Number 2.
The next episode on this list was directed by the amazing Richard Donner, and that is Nightmare at 20,000 Feet.
Often considered to be one of the greatest episodes in television history, and for good reason, Nightmare 20,000 Feet oozes with an intensity very few episodes can invoke. It once more features William Shatner, this time playing Bob, a man who is flying home after recovering from a nervous breakdown only to find himself witnessing a gremlin of sorts trying to destroy the plane he is on. The episode plays with the audience's mind as one wonders if what Bob is seeing is indeed happening, or if it is all in his mind.
Hurry! Hurry!
Everything about this show keeps you at the edge of your seat in anticipation for what is going to happen next as the runtime flies by without warning.
Haha! Get it? Flies by? Never mind. Just go on to number 1.
Number 1.
Those that have seen The Twilight Zone should not be surprised why this episode ended up being number 1 on my list, and that is The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street.
A flash of light in the sky rips a neighborhood asunder as paranoia amps up. Half of this is due to the loss of all electronic equipment, while the other half is caused by an innocent child referencing a similar event that happened in the comic book thanks to aliens.
What makes you say that? Where'd you get that idea?
Isn't that the craziest thing you've ever heard? It's always that way in every story I've ever read about a ship landing from outer space.
This episode really plays on the fears of mankind and how easy it is to break a group of individuals when doubt is cast into the mix, as everyone starts to turn on each other for the most minute reason.
Look, you all know me. We've lived here for 5 years, right in this house. We aren't any different from you, any different at all. The whole thing is just... really, the whole thing is just weird.
The tension really amps up once the sun has set, and we get an incredible ending to one of the most spectacularly suspenseful episodes of the entire series.
We should call this one The Suburban Thing. What did you think of my list? Do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it? What is your favorite episode? Let me know in the comments below. And until next time as we continue Halloween month, bye.